this has been sitting in front of me the whole time. Like, why have I not been doing this for the last 5 years? I was born a retailer and went on a journey that took me somewhere I didn't want to go, and now I'm back. How do we build a multi-generational brand that sits up there with Qantas and RM Williams?
Welcome to Add to Cart, Australia's leading e-commerce podcast that express delivers all you need to know in the fast-moving world of online retail. Every week, Nathan Bush from eSuite and an e-commerce industry expert will share the news, research and insights that you need to know to keep you at the top of your game. And of course, keep your customers adding to cart.
Welcome to a very special fireside chat here on Add to Cart. We have gone off the grid and we're coming to you from a log cabin in the great outdoors. A very first time for Add to Cart. I've got a little fire going, got some salmon in a pan and marshmallows at the ready for this interview. I'm lucky enough to be joined face to face. There's no technology out here, obviously, by someone who actually knows what they're doing in the great outdoors. Trust me, I would be dead as soon as I hit a gravel road if I was by myself. Sam Schumann is the founder and the director of outdoor adventure company Alton, an ex-tax and consulting professional. Sam developed the Alton brand in 2015 and now has over 50 SKUs, a warehouse that's bursting at the seam, distribution in paddy pallons, and the most goddamn beautiful Instagram page you have ever seen. Make sure you check it out. It's almost like a meditation. Today, we join Sam in the Alton log cabin, which may or may not also be his warehouse here in Geebung, Queensland. We dive into Sam's journey from the confines of the office to exploring the great outdoors. We get a sneak peek into the product innovation he is on the verge of getting to market, and he tells us how his time as a perfume salesman helped him develop what he has today. Before we get into today's episode, if you are early on your e-commerce journey, or you want to get into e-commerce, or you want to upskill your whole team in e-commerce, eSuite's e-commerce accelerator is now open for enrollment. Over 10 weeks, we will cover all the foundations of e-commerce, from marketing to tech to customer to finance to supply chain, and it all ends with you pitching a new solution for a real retailer. It's going to be loads of fun. Spots are limited to 50 students and class commences on the 12th of June. To secure your spot, head on over to esuitetalent.com.au. All right, the bush tea is getting cold. Let's get into it. Thanks to our partners, Shopify Plus and Packleo, here's our conversation with Sam Schumann, founder and director of Alton. Sam, welcome to Add to Cart.
Thanks for having me. I'm stoked to be here.
What? To be here? I'm stoked to be here. For those who can't see it, because we are a podcast, we are filming this, but we are at Alton at the moment in a beautiful log cabin that Sam's built with his bare hands.
Yeah, look, I didn't actually build it, so it's all an illusion. It was actually my old man that built it, but yeah, I gave him the brief.
It's beautiful. So check it out on Instagram or YouTube. We'll put some clips up of it. But it is an illusion. It is actually a content studio at the back of your warehouse.
Yeah, that's right. It's we are here in the suburb of Geebung in Brisbane. We are. The goal was to make it look like a high country cabin in Victoria. So I really think we nailed it. But yeah, unfortunately, we aren't there. It is a content studio. It's all part of our bigger sort of content strategy. So we sort of observed over the last 12 months that people are they're not clicking on those beautiful landscape shots anymore. They want that really nitty-gritty, like up close and personal with people involved, that sort of stuff. So this was all part of our strategy, building this studio. And yeah, we've got a bunch of things planned, a few things already out. We've flown up some sort of like big names in the outdoor industry and interviewed them here in our studio. So really looking to get that like interesting, engaging TikTok style kind of content to that's what people want to see. So that's exactly what we're going to give them. Yeah.
Well, I think too, if you haven't already, go onto the Instagram of Alton. What's the handle?
Alton_goods.
Yeah, because it is beautiful imagery and video. Some of it, of course, shot in this studio, but a lot of it out in the wild. How did you get such a beautiful aesthetic from the day dot?
Oh, we didn't from day dot, to tell you the truth. I was always, like, when I started this brand, I was always like, I just sit on Instagram and be like, oh, God, I wish I could make our content look as good as, these other brands out there. To get where we are now, it just took, like, planning and strategy. Nothing, like, everything that's on our Instagram is taken by us now. Like, it's not sent in from customers or anything like that. We capture all of it. I've got a team of, like, excellent photographers, graphic designers and everything on board. And, yeah, there's absolutely, like, a lot of planning and strategy that goes into making it look the way it does. And, like, it's worth it. It costs money, but it's such a important part of growing a brand that no one knew about in the beginning. So we need to sort of make ourselves look great and showcase the, like, fantastic products we're producing.
It is, and we're going to get onto those fantastic products because I was in this warehouse with you a week ago and you were showing me some of the cool stuff coming down the pipeline. So I'm hoping that we can get a hint of that. But before we do, you mentioned that you wanted to talk about where you came from to where you are today. Can you tell us about the journey of Alton? Because I understand that you're not an e-commerce retailer by trade.
That's right. Retail does run deep in the veins, though. In fact, maybe I was born a retailer and went on a journey that took me somewhere I didn't want to go, and now I'm back. So.
You went on a non-spiritual journey.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was not spiritual at all. I graduated uni with a law and commerce degree and sort of followed the crowd into that degree from high school. And then I was in professional services, so doing accounting in a big firm in the city. And
the opposite of the great outdoors.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like, despite the fact that my interests were in, being outside, being in the outdoors, and I loved retail and I loved selling. Somehow I ended up in a cubicle for 10 hours a day, billing by the 6-minute interval. So, yeah, let's just say it wasn't for me, but it took me about 5 years to actually have the gumption to get up and get out of there and, do what I'm doing today.
Great. So what was the starting point for that? Was it doing it as a side hustle while you were sitting at your desk for 10 hours, or was it one big leap?
It was a side hustle, but when I say side hustle, it was never like we want to make a lot of money out of this kind of thing. It was just a bit of fun. So my mate and I started it back in about 2015, and it was a bit of fun. Both of us worked in retail at the time, because this is back when we were still at university, and we went hiking on the holidays.
And where were you working in retail?
I was working at Myer in Brisbane City, selling aftershave and perfume. So it's
the essentials for outdoor life.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Like, that taught me so much, that job. And I probably did it for about 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I started when I was 15. So 15 through to when I graduated at about 23, 22, something like that. It was a long time.
What's the secret for choosing a good perfume?
Oh, God, have a good salesman. You don't know when you walk into those places, but everyone is working for a different brand. So they're never really selling you what is the best. They're selling you what is their product. So there's a little bit of a battle going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But it teaches you a lot. It's competitive. There's a lot of rejection, walking up to people and being rejected over and over, and just needing to be able to persist and sell the product you're trying to sell.
Yes, so it's not just manning a retail floor, it's actually sales.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd get on this podcast and start talking about how to sell fragrance.
Never know where we'll go. So you've done that. You've got the idea with your mate.
Yeah.
Created on the side. What was the moment that you went, actually, I can throw in this desk job and go full time?
So that didn't come until after I'd actually resigned from my job. So with my professional services job, it's not like I had like a plan, like I'm going to resign on this day and then I'm going to go and start this business. It was nothing like that. It was a complete mess in the, like, behind the scenes. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't do one more day of it. I felt like I was doing a job that I was working so hard at, and I was putting so much of my time. I was pulling time away from the things that I love, like family and, social activity and all that sort of stuff. And I just wasn't really, I was just an average accountant, you know what I mean? If that. So it was killing me. It was killing me inside. I was getting no satisfaction from it. And to be honest, it was one day I just came to work and I was like, that's it, I'm done. I can't do this one day longer. And I actually went in and told my boss I wanted to go on like a sabbatical. And I used Alton as the excuse. I was like, I've got this great side hustle, and I really want to see what I can do with it, which was a complete lie. Like I just wanted to go and have some time to apply for a new job.
Keep your old job in case it didn't work out.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Have a fallback. 6 months, try and get a new job. If it doesn't work, I'll come back here. But I probably took 2 weeks for me to just like recover, I guess, from like I had so much like pent up, just like bad mental health, and like, you know, I just wasn't in a good place. Like I'd be doing this job that I hated, and there was no light at the end of the tunnel, like where I was going to get to. Like I was like, I don't want to become a partner here. I hate this.
So you saw yourself within the movie Office Space.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was living it. So yeah, it took a couple of weeks off, and I was like sleeping like 14 hours a day. Like just, there was just so much pent up like angst. I had to just recover. And then I was like, all right, let's start looking for jobs. And then I started just doing what I did in my normal spare time. I started working on the business a bit. And
at that point, where is Alton in terms of size of business?
$5,000 to $8,000 in revenue a year.
Okay.
Like nothing. Mates and family. If we got a sale from someone we didn't know, we'd be calling each other being like, do you know this person? It was rare.
Okay.
So yeah, it took a couple of weeks off, started applying for jobs, and then my spare time I was just doing a bit of work on the brand. And, you know, I just had I actually used to sit in like meetings back when I was an accountant or in training sessions, and I'd be writing down all these ideas of what we could do for the brand. So I started ticking those off.
Yep.
And then within like 2 weeks, I was just like, why am I not doing this full time? Like I'd been in this place a month prior where I had no idea what I wanted to do. I had no idea what was going to make me happy, fulfilled. And then a month later, I'm like, this has been sitting in front of me the whole time. Like, why have I not been doing this for the last 5 years? And honestly, since then, that's about 5 years ago, nothing's changed.
Wow.
I'm just doing the same thing. I'm spending my whole day just obsessed on this brand, growing it, ticking off things on that to-do list, and just, pushing it forward.
Ready to go back and flip burgers for a living? Nah, me neither. But one of the most surprising results that came out of Shopify's recent global survey was that despite the cost of living pressures on customers, 2/3 of customers are still open to splurging on themselves at least monthly. The most common splurge? Takeaway food. But even if you aren't in the grease game, it is promising because no matter how price orientated the market is, customers will find opportunities to treat themselves. You've just got to find the right moment to wave the smell of that juicy burger under their noses. Something to think about as you're planning 2023. To view more resources to help with your 2023 planning and see how Shopify can take your e-commerce business to the next level, visit shopify.com/au today. It might be a stereotype, but as someone in tax and accounting, are you naturally afraid of risk, or do you embrace it?
Yeah, I'd probably say I'm a risk-averse person, but I think another thing to note is like I'm not your traditional tax guy, and that's probably why I didn't suit that environment.
This is why you wanted to come on the podcast, just so you can get rid of that image, right?
Yeah, exactly. Accounting's the best form of contraception, as they say.
That's great. Okay, so tell us about Alton now. Size, products, mission.
So we've got about 50 SKUs now. Size, we probably do 1,000 to 1,200 orders a month. So, yeah, it's getting up there in size. The thing that's lagging is probably our staff count. So we're a very, very small team, punching well above our weight to achieve what we're achieving. And, yeah, like it's just we're adding new products like every month kind of thing. So it's growing really quickly. COVID was like a really good boost. Like it really pushed us ahead, I feel. There was a lot of focus on camping and that sort of thing at the time. So we were lucky in that sense. Prior to that, you know, starting something from nothing, working on it for a couple of years, then COVID pushed us forward. And now we're kind of in that post-COVID environment. So that's got its own challenges. But I think we've got a pretty solid plan to just keep growing with new product, exciting sort of content and collaborations and that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's as big as it's ever been.
It's amazing. And, you know, just walking into the warehouse, you can see that it's bursting at the seams.
Yeah.
Very different to when I was here 18 months ago.
Yeah.
So obviously the growth is there.
Yeah, we need a new warehouse, that's for sure.
Anyone got a warehouse?
Seriously, because they're hard to find.
How long have you been searching for a warehouse?
I'm not going to lie, it's probably been about 10 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we still haven't found anything. I feel like those stories you see on the news with people trying to get into like rentals, that's what it's like. We put in a good offer on something and we just rejected. So it's starting to stress me out a little bit, but I'm sure we'll find a solution. We always do.
What's the barrier? Is it cost of the warehouses that you want, or is it location?
We've encountered all the barriers. So initially, I didn't know anything about it. I've leased one warehouse and that's this one, and I didn't even send the contract to a lawyer, which apparently you're supposed to do. So I'm learning as we go. And right now we're putting things in like at the price they're asking for the period of time they're asking for. And before you know it, some pre-market sort of big company has just come in with a long term and lease, and they've just swiped it. So I think there's just a low amount of supply, and the big boys get first pickings.
How do you forecast how long you will need a warehouse for?
That's a really good question. And that book Catch of the Decade by Gabby Leibovich, I think in that book they upgrade their warehouse about 6 times or something like that, and it's always in the back of my mind. I don't think they knew, and I certainly don't know. So you just try and make the best estimate, I think. In fact, I found with a lot of these kind of things that you go with where you want to be, and you generally sort of, in the context of a warehouse, you generally fill it. So like when we came here, I was in my garage before that, and this was enormous. And I was like, well, I'm just going to bite off a little bit more than I can chew and push us hard to fill this warehouse. And that's where we're at. So
your warehouse almost becomes your dashboard of success and hitting your goals.
Pretty much. But I also think that with like even signing up for like new software and that sort of thing, we didn't have an inventory software in the beginning, and to bring an inventory software on board, that costs a lot of money. But I had the same mentality. I was like, well, we better make enough money to pay for it. And there's obviously a limit to doing these sorts of things, but I try and just keep pushing us forward.
What inventory software did you go for?
We went with Gear.
Okay.
Now Sin 7. I think Sin 7 bought them out. It's pretty good.
Are we leaving it there?
I feel with these sorts of things that it's you can't really have one product that suits everyone.
Yeah.
We don't use like every part of the program, but the bits we do use do their job. So I can't really complain. Yeah. And I don't think there's really many better options out there as far as I know. So we're happy with Gear.
Yeah, great. Gone a little bit off topic, but that's okay. One of the things that strikes me is that outdoor and leisure is a really competitive category, especially to get into for the first time. We've got some really established players in the market. But your product still manages to stand out, and you've got some amazing customer reviews online. How do you describe how your product is different to what's already out there?
Yeah, it is a competitive space, but like, to be honest, since the day I started it, I only ever really felt we were competing with ourselves, because we do a few things differently to make ourselves stand out and make ourselves different. I'd say we're competing more now than ever, but in the beginning, what we tried to do was firstly bring out products that were like very niche and not suited to like the sort of everyday customer, and that served its purpose, got us to where we needed to be, and then that gave us the confidence to then bring out more mainstream products. The things that we do differently that get customers converting on our products over our competitors is like our number one focus is quality. So we can like hand on heart say our products up there with the absolute best quality. We've got systems in place to make sure that we are getting the best manufacturers, the best quality control processes, and just there's an absolute obsession with materials and all that sort of stuff. So we work with the product from an idea up rather than going in and saying, we want a sleeping mat. What is there out there?
What have you got?
How can we work down the price to be the cheapest, or that sort of thing? So
gotcha.
Quality, number one. And then another really important aspect of the brand we've created is the aesthetic. So I noticed like in the beginning, and like I'm a consumer, right? So I've just tried to develop something that I want to buy. Yep. And you do stuff like that and you realize that lots of other people want the same thing. So we tried to create like a really like beautiful kind of bush aesthetic. And when you look at the other brands out there, they use a lot of like those bright colors like yellow and purple and light greens. So we wanted to have something that was very subdued, very like earthy kind of tones and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's proved popular. People really like it.
I feel you can spot it from a mile away, even though it is understated. It's like, oh, you can tell that's an Alton good.
Absolutely, yeah. So what we didn't really know. I never planned that, but there's definitely people will look at a photo on Instagram and be like, oh, that's definitely an Alton product because of the color. So yeah, I guess it wasn't planned, but luckily it's come off.
And so we're here in Geebung, out near the airport in Brisbane, or we're out in the bush somewhere if you're looking at the video. How do you keep that relationship with your Chinese manufacturers when you're putting so much emphasis and dependency on quality of your products? How do you keep that relationship in place and keep a close eye on that quality that's coming out?
Oh, I think it just comes down to like relationships and like personal relationships. So if you can build it's like anything, whether you're an accountant, professional services, or an architect or a builder, whatever it is, you're going to work harder for the people that you have a good relationship with. So yeah, I think it's like my personality has like helped. I love chatting and I get personal with, people in a work. That doesn't sound right, but I care about what's going on beyond work, right?
Yep.
So yeah, well, I'm chatting to my colleagues over in Asia like every day, and it's never just work stuff. It's beyond work. So yeah, it's just relationships and being friendly and then also on top of that, just holding that really firm expectation and knowing that we can't veer from that.
Yeah. And you're heading over to see Chinese partners in a week?
A few days.
Yeah. What's on the itinerary?
Oh, God, a lot of food, apparently. I've never been there before, and that's pretty much because of COVID.
So this is the first face-to-face.
Yeah.
And you've got this warehouse of amazing products. How many SKUs did you say?
50.
So you've got 50 SKUs, never met face-to-face, amazing quality, first time face-to-face.
It's pretty ridiculous. Like, it's all happened through, like email, WeChat.
Yep.
Like, it's crazy, but we had no other choice. We just had to make it work. So, and particularly, like for a brand like us who's so obsessive about how things feel and look and that sort of thing, it's been so hard. It's been really hard. And like these conversations go on for hours.
Yeah. Do you have a room of all the failed samples? That'll be part of your story in many years' time?
I'm actually a pretty minimalist kind of person. So I actually bin a lot of that stuff or give it away, which is a bit sad, I guess. It's been deleted from history.
Yeah, that's very fair, very fair. So what's coming down? So when we talk about innovation in this space, obviously camping has been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about innovation in your space, what does that look like?
Oh, I mean, there's always a different way to do a product is one way to look at it. And then also materials. I'd say materials is probably the biggest. So like, yes, we make tents today and we used to make tents, but they're made from very different materials. There's always that goal of lighter, stronger, better longevity. So for us, a big focus is definitely on materials. We like to keep our products pretty simple and pretty minimalist. So we don't try and throw new things and attach them onto the side of a product. We try to retain what that product is for, its main purpose, but then come in and do things differently with materials and maybe put a little bit of an Alton touch, in terms of the way it's been designed.
Yeah. I feel like lightweight is really important to you. Like a lot of the products you've redesigned to be able to, be chucked into a bag. Like the camp chair that I got from you sits always in my car now because it's literally the size of a ruler and folds out. Great for me, suburban dad, watching soccer on the sidelines with my kids. But I can see from a camping perspective how this changes the game for a lot of people by thinking a bit differently.
Yeah, exactly. Like where we're placed in the market and like we've actively tried to be this is in the outdoor scene, you've got two camps. You've got your ultra light camp, which is things made of almost cling wrap thickness. And then you've got like your kind of hardcore four-wheel drive based vehicle camping. Mm-hmm. So we've tried to create, and I think we have created, an ultralight product that has just that hint of a little bit better quality, slightly thicker materials. So it's an incredibly long-lasting ultralight product. And I think we've, that space, we've filled that space ourselves. There's not really many other brands out there that do that. They want to sit at both ends of that spectrum.
Yep. I remember when I was at Super Retail Group, a long time ago now, but we had BCF as one of our brands. And at the time, Raise Outdoors.
so heritage Victorian company. And when Ray's Outdoors came into the fold, everyone was like, how are we going to differentiate these two? Like, isn't it the same customer? And it just reminded me of what you said then. It was like BCF was about conquering the outdoors and Ray's was about being in the outdoors.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah. It feels like you're very much in the outdoors and being one with the outdoors.
Absolutely, yeah.
Community plays a really strong role in what you do and getting the word out. How have you embraced getting word out to this community, which can have very strong brand loyalty and brand ties? How have you found your way into this community to introduce the product and the brand?
It's happened so organically. Like, I think that's the benefit of being like a startup. There was no real strategy in the beginning. It's almost like we put the product out first. Our first product was an ultralight hammock. And then that attracted a certain type of customer. And then with that, we were like, oh, these people are buying our product. So then since then, we've just gone all in on making that customer happy. That's kind of how it really happened. Super organic. And then from there, we learned what these people like. We got involved in events that these people participate in. And now we know that customer to death, and we just serve them exactly, what they want to see, serve them new, exciting things that we think they might be interested in. And yeah, we're just in constant engagement with them now.
You've refreshed your website, the new range is about to drop, you've never had more customer service options. Hey, but take a look over there at that boring pile of packaging boxes. Ugh, ugly. Time to give that some love. Luckily, Packlio is here to bring some joy to your customer's delivery and unboxing experience. It's been ignored for way too long. With vibrant colours, cool designs and eco-friendly credentials, there are no more excuses for boring boxes. Even better, Packlio is Australian owned and operated with same-day dispatch and 14-day returns. There's nothing boring about that. Check out the Packlio range of e-commerce packaging options at packlio.com. That's Packlio, Packleo, Packlio.com.
Is there any customer that comes to mind that stands out for you as a special customer that gave you a special insight into how they use your product or what it means for them, or just in terms of how much they've ordered and how brand loyal they are?
I'm not going to say any names.
No, don't say names. Don't say names.
There's a few people that more than you'd think that they've just bought every single product we've put out. The minute, it's almost like we'll be working on the website and we haven't launched the product yet, but we're just testing where it's going to sit and that kind of thing. And then, boom, they've bought it. So
sure, they haven't got access to the staging site.
I don't know what's going on, because sometimes, even the guys in the warehouse are just like, hang on a second, this guy's just bought one of these. I don't even know about this product yet. And, it arrives the next day, it's delivered. It's ridiculous. But, yeah, there's a lot of people that have been there since the very, very beginning. Yeah, I know their name. I know them by name. They have my mobile number because we used to do customer service through my phone. And
I went to call you this morning. I don't even have your mobile number.
Oh, you need to get on board early with the product. I love it that way, though. I've kept those guys and girls in my phone, and I say to them, if you want to call me anytime, I'm here. You supported us from the beginning, so you deserve this access.
Amazing. Do you go out on any camping adventures with your community or your influencers or anything like that?
We actually haven't really done anything like that. It's something I'd like to do, but internally we always think that we can achieve, I guess, more of a effective kind of campaign using the internet, which is, it doesn't really reconcile with the brand, but we're engaged with what people are doing in the outdoors. So we're out there testing things. They're out there. We share places we go and things we do and all that kind of thing. But we've never really hosted one of those events where we get everyone together. Yeah, I wouldn't write it off. I think it's something we'll probably do at some point, but efficient use of resources is also important, being a small brand and having those small brand roots. So we try and do things efficiently.
What about partners and influencers? How do you get them on board? Because I can imagine they'd be a great source of content for you if they're using your product, but also you'd have to be very careful because you've done such a great job in creating a brand and a look and a feel that they don't go and ruin that for you.
Yeah, again, that's all happened really organically. No strategy. It just evolved with the brand. We've got, I don't like the term influencer, and these guys don't like the term influencer, but we've got a guy, Scotty's Gone Walkabout. He's got a channel. He does he films his own adventures and he goes solo into the bush incredible films that he puts together. And like, he's our biggest, like, he'll get the most traffic for us in terms of influencers. And he just bought one of our products like back in like 2016. He'd be in our first 150 customers.
Wow.
And he loved the product. And then from there, we got to know him. We saw his channel was growing. We sent him product. And, now it's to the point where we've designed a product together, and that relationship's just blossomed.
Amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's strategy behind it now, but in the beginning, it was all very organic and
just try stuff.
I think that's the key. Try everything and then see what sticks. And then also just be like open and available and open-minded, like, because I think that's where a lot of these opportunities came from. Don't be like wedded to a way of doing things.
Yeah.
Like, I just picked up the phone and called Scotty and was like, "Hey mate, I just quit my job." There was never like, it just came from an internal kind of curiosity and willingness to try things, I think.
Yeah, beautiful. Speaking of taking up opportunities, you've recently gone into retail, which I can imagine isn't part of the plan as an e-commerce brand, D2C e-commerce brands, having great success over COVID. Can't imagine that retail was always in the plan.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
It never was, and it still isn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're in Paddy Palin stores, and that was just like, I want to say like random opportunity, but it's not, because it came off the back of building a brand that the Australian public respects and has a great reputation for quality. From that, we got an email from Paddy Palin saying, "Hey, we want your products on our shelves." And initially, to be honest, I was like, probably not. Like,
get out of here, Paddy.
It's not really our strategy. You're a direct-to-consumer brand. But pretty quickly, I was like, this is actually a great opportunity. They've got, stores in every capital city. They're an integral part of like the Australian retail history of outdoor gear, and they're probably the biggest player in the space, and they've got a great reputation, a lot of respect. And I was like, we need to do this. It wasn't an easy process. Like, we had to send all of our gear over to Perth to their HQ, and like they did a full like deep due diligence on everything, measured everything, weighed everything, tested everything. And then, they were like, let's do it.
How were you feeling while they were taking your product behind closed doors and, stress testing the hell out of it?
To be honest, I was confident. Like, the product has been tested on thousands of customers, right? And anything that's not right, we always make better. If there's something wrong with the product, we improve it the next time around. So I was confident. I was like, I know these products are as good as, if not better than, some of the products that Paddy Palin sells. So let's do it, rip in, and I'm here if you've got any questions. And it was like a 6-month kind of period. And then, we got in the stores, and it's been fantastic because we've got all this new discovery. Like, people are finding the product in store. There's the added credibility for those people that had never heard of us. But going back to the like overall brand strategy, I don't imagine we'll go into any other retailers. Like, I want to keep it pretty lean in terms of retail presence. The focus is definitely like e-com, direct to consumer.
Yep. So you mentioned at the start where we talked about a lean team, right? So we're in the warehouse here. There's yourself and Oliver packing orders furiously. Oliver doesn't get paid enough. Sorry.
So rude, mate.
Doing a great job out there. I'm just watching you. But you've got a whole range of specialists that are working with you. How do you create that network of people who can do different skill sets?
It so comes down to talking to other people in the industry. I mean, not even in our industry specifically, but just in the e-com community, I guess. We've tried so many times to find people through Fiverr and Upwork and all that sort of stuff, but the good people generally only have a few clients, and they're protected by the people that use them. So, I've reached out to people who I've listened to on your podcast before.
You don't name anyone?
No.
Gabby.
No. Unfortunately not. But seriously, I listen to like podcasts, and I'll listen for clues as to like what this big brand, like if they drop something and there's a hint there, I'm going searching for that person. So definitely like people you talk to, recommending. Like, if I've learnt one thing, you want a good recommendation on someone from someone else who's used them. But that's good for now, but we obviously need to grow an internal team. Like, we've got a lot of specialists that do great work for us, but even for them, like, it's becoming too much. We need to have a bit of horsepower back here at Alton HQ to help push forward a lot of these ambitious plans that we've got.
Where do you start with that? What's first off the rank?
I've done a lot of thinking about this. And I've spoken to a lot of other founders about this. It came down to probably like content coordination and that kind of thing, and like sort of operational stuff. I think, we've got the operational stuff pretty covered. So given the amount of work we're doing in the content space, that's probably the place we're going to start, recruiting some people into the sort of content planning and deploying a lot of the content that we're coming up with. That's the space where we'll be hiring.
Yeah, nice. Happy to help you with that. Shameless C-suite plug. So I think you're at a really interesting point right now where you know your brand inside out. You know what you're creating, but now you're starting to build a team around you. So this is no longer the Sam show, right?
Yeah.
How do you take your passion for what you do and your baby and create a culture? What kind of culture do you want to create that others will buy into?
It's a tough question, and it's a tough question because I've never done it before. So all I'm answering with is my best guess. But having done a lot of thinking about it, because we've needed staff for probably the last 12 months.
As long as you needed warehouses for.
Yeah. So I've thought long and hard and asked a lot of people and all that sort of stuff. So the culture that, like, to answer the question about culture, I'd say it's definitely like an underdog culture. So like you mentioned at the beginning, we're up against some big multinational brands with huge amounts of resources, but we're crushing them in terms of certain things, right? So we are creating a culture internally where we have the confidence to be able to say, you know what, we can go out there and do this better than X, Y, or Z, because we've done it before in other parts of the business. So to have that, I think the key to that underdog culture is like high performance. Like everyone takes their responsibilities really seriously. Everyone's very attentive about what they're doing. And the key, like the main thing, is just everyone's passionate. Mm-hmm. Like I look back to what my old job and the job I didn't like. And I remember when I was there, I'd be like, oh, these managers are terrible. They just don't know how to manage people. And then I think back and go, well, what would I have done differently?
Yeah.
And what I would do differently is I would go to Sam sitting there behind the desk and say, mate, you can do so much better somewhere else. So I think when hiring for that team, it's really important to find people that are passionate about the space and enjoy it, because it's no longer work then.
Yeah.
When you love it. It's, I don't know, having been in both camps of having a job that I didn't like and a job that I do like, it's because I'm interested in what I'm doing. So yeah. I don't know. I think that's the key and we'll soon know. But
well, when you say passionate, do you mean that they have to be passionate about the outdoors and camping, or could you be passionate around innovative materials and not be a camper?
I think it's more passionate about your craft rather than the industry or space. Yeah. So you don't need to be obsessed with the outdoors. In fact, all of the people I work with, our experts that we work with, none of them have probably even been camping, but they are experts at their craft. So whether that be graphic design or industrial design or accounting or being a lawyer, whatever it is, they're experts and they're passionate about their craft. So
a bit awkward when you tell that videographer they've got to go camp out for 5 days to capture the content.
Yeah, well, there's certain roles the videographer definitely needs to love camping because they're out there. Yeah, it's just I think it's being passionate about what you're doing.
Yeah. So assuming everything goes to plan, new warehouse, you see all the products filling up the warehouse, you've moved to 6 warehouses by now. What does your role in the business look like?
I'd love to still lead the kind of the vision.
Yeah.
And I've pretty much trained myself to be able to sort of do all sorts of different things. But I think like where my strengths are around brand. Mm-hmm. So we're an e-commerce brand, but I'd say, like, if I'm being honest with myself, my strengths are not in the, how do we improve our conversion rate? That's not really me. I'm more, how do we build a multi-generational brand that sits up there with Qantas and R.M. Williams? That's what's burning in my heart, is I really want to create this brand that everyone loves and everyone is, proud to use. So that's where I want my role to stay. Like, if if things go well and the business grows, really, really big, I want to be part of that brand and growing that brand.
Got a little goosebumps then. That's cool. All right. That all makes total sense, and I love that vision. Next 12 months. So we're off to China in the next couple of days to meet our partners for the first time. What else is exciting on your roadmap for the next 12 months that you can give away on a public podcast?
Oh, it's all very much product-based. Yeah, product-based excitement.
Yeah.
So the key to growing our brand is getting new products out there. So the products we're doing great. Mm-hmm. And there's just this constant thirst from our customers for new product. Like, why are you guys not doing a tent? Why are you not doing a backpack? Why are you not doing a swag? All these kinds of things. So,
and I suppose that's a big thing for you. If you've got your hat on quality,
yep,
you don't want people ordering a new tent every 2 years. You need to expand the range.
Exactly. It's not the sort of brand where you're coming back to buy a new product every 6 months. So it needs to be a new product, not the same one.
Yep.
So yeah, there's not much I can really give away, but there's about probably 20 new products to release between now and Christmas. The one that's getting the most hype is the one with Scotty that we've collaborated on. So that's coming very soon, and there's a lot of people waiting for that.
Tell you what I got excited about, and we can edit this out if we can't go to air with it, was you've got this contraption upstairs, which is like a Perspex pipe, probably a foot in diameter.
Yeah.
Filled, and you've got a piece of fabric in the middle, which is like a jacket fabric. Correct me if I'm wrong at any of this point.
Yeah.
Filled with water over the top of it. So there's air underneath it, filled with water on top, and you're able to blow air up the bottom and see how the air goes through the fabric and into the water, but the water doesn't go through the fabric into the air.
That's all, yeah. There is a new fabric in the works.
So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, there's a revolutionary fabric that we've been working on, and like random for a brand of our size, I think, to be bringing out a fabric, but we were just in the right place at the right time at a trade show in America. And yeah, we came across someone who wanted to do it with us. And that's a really exciting new fabric that's going to be part of 2 new products we're bringing out. You said that it looked like jacket material. It could be a jacket.
Oh.
It could be a tent. It could be anything.
It could be anything. Sam, I really don't want to leave this space because it feels like we're out in the middle of the bush, ready to kind of light a couple of marshmallows, maybe have a whiskey.
There's a Queensland dome there, Bundy Rum, sitting on a shrub. So.
It's only 11 o'clock in the morning. let's not be silly. But I love what you're creating, and I love the differentiation that you've made in the market so far. You've got the bones in place, but to take on the world, really. Thank you so much for joining us on Add to Cart. Good luck on your trip to China, and hopefully we're speaking again very soon.
Thank you, mate. It's been a real pleasure. Thanks for having me.
There you go, our very first campside fireside chat on Add to Cart. Make sure you check out the clip of that on Instagram or TikTok. Our handle is Add to Cart Show. Sam has sectioned off a brilliant part of his warehouse to help him create content. In the middle of a warehouse, it really does feel like you're in a log cabin in the middle of nowhere. A really cool space. All right, here are the 3 lessons that I took from my chat with Sam. Number 1, the downside of quality. Now, it doesn't seem like a problem because Sam has built a great brand based around quality product. And while that is great for customer satisfaction and word of mouth, it really sucks for repeat purchase. Sam doesn't want anyone buying new tents after a couple of years. These things should last you much, much longer than that. Not great for lifetime value, right? So it's pushed him to continually innovate and expand the range, which is crucial because his customers are chomping at the bit for new products to buy. It's a tricky but good problem to have. Number 2, forecast the warehouse that you want to be. We heard from Sam how hard he was finding it to find a new warehouse. He's been looking for 10 months, and I know he's not alone there. I've heard from you some of your stories as well. I liked when he talked about forecasting the size of the warehouse that you want your business to be. It makes sense, and it becomes a big, expensive dashboard of how close you are to achieving your goal. Forecast what you want to be and by when, and set your infrastructure, whether that be your warehouse, your technology, or your product, up for that result, and you'll push yourself to get there. Number 3, always be asking for feedback. This part didn't actually go to air, but I realized it after our chat. Sam is always asking for feedback, like genuine feedback. He did it twice in the recording, one time when we had to pause, and then he also did it at the end. He said, "How is it? Am I giving enough?" And I replied, yep, it's all pretty good. But he pushed me. He said, "Be honest with me. What's something I can do better?" He didn't ask for feedback because he lacks confidence. He is genuinely trying to improve and get feedback at every opportunity. And I love that. To get the highlights of today's episode, head on over to addtocart.com.au and sign up for our free newsletter. Each Tuesday, we will send Monday's episode summary, links, and discount codes for you to go next level on. And if you're looking to explore your next e-commerce opportunity, come and visit us at eSuite. We're a dedicated e-commerce talent agency connecting the best e-commerce talent with the fastest growing brands in Australia. Head on over to eSuitetalent.com.au where you can download the free e-commerce salary guide and sign up to our weekly e-commerce job emails. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep those customers adding to cart.